Here we are, we're talking about levels in paddle. All over the world there's different organisations that categorise people into in different ways, and we're trying to make it simple. Playtomic is probably the largest booking system in the world, and a lot of people are using that for their levels, and it's not always that clear. It might be clear in some countries, but in certain countries it's not. So let's try and nail in and make it a bit clearer. Okay, so what we're trying to do is make it simple. So we've got a very complicated description here, which is the Playtomic system. So you've got less than 1, 1 to 1.49, 1.5, etc., going up to 5.6 tournament players. This is a simple version of how Playtomic I would categorise the numbers. So you've got initiation, beginner, initiation, intermediate, intermediate, intermediate high, intermediate advanced, and competition. Again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 levels. And most of our players in our business are really in these levels. They're not going to be advanced, they're not going to be competition. So we're trying to nail in onto this. So what we're going to do is saying the Playtomic ranking of 0 to 1.49 is beginner. Improver is 1.5 to 2.4, intermediate 2.5 to 3.4, advanced 3.5 to 4.4, team 4.5 to 5.4, obviously team players, experienced people that have played quite a lot of matches and are going to be competent to play in the team. Tournament is where you're independently going, searching tournaments wherever it would be in the world to actually play, so you're a pretty advanced player because you're taking it pretty seriously. You're going to be a 5.4 to a 5.6. And those are the levels. So to actually describe what is a beginner is somebody that's really new to the game, doesn't know the rules really, doesn't know how to hold the racket, doesn't know where to stand. The coach is going to guide them through that. They're not going to guide them through that immediately in one go, but they're just going to slowly introduce the technique of paddle and the different shots, but not at the beginning. It's just basically paddle is different than tennis. It's more like, those are the rules, just go and have fun. And then you will have fun from the beginning rather than actually going to a load of techniques. So it's less technical and more fun than tennis. Tennis, you need technique to actually enjoy it. But that's the issue that tennis has at the moment. Paddle is easier to play, it's more fun and it's more social. Tennis, great fun, very physical if you play well, but you've got to have good technique because otherwise you'll spend all your time picking up the balls. We've talked about that before. You don't want to be picking up the balls, you want to be hitting balls. If you count how many balls you hit in a paddle match, it's probably going to be over 100. In a tennis match, it might be 20, 30. So it actually and the better you are at paddle, the longer the rallies are, because you're not going to make winners. You're going to wait for your opponent to make mistakes. You're just going to keep the ball going. That's one tactic. Anyway, let's go down to the groups. The next level would be improver. Improver, they know a little bit more about paddle. They haven't mastered it. They don't like going to the net very much because it's quite intimidating going to the net. A sign of people that have just started playing paddle. You look at the court and they're all at the back, rallying from the back, having fun, but rallying from the back. No volleys. No one's saying, get to the net, let's win the point in the net. So there's no tactics, maybe a bit of technique. That would be the next level, which we passed beginner, it's improver. 1.5 to 2.4. Now we're on to intermediate. They know a little bit more about, coming to the net, but they might not feel so confident going to the net because they're not technically proficient at the net. So they might need some work on moving, not moving too close to the net. We've already talked about that in the video lesson. Not moving too fast, moving slow, anticipating, communicating with your partner. They'll start to communicate. That would be intermediates. So they can consistently rally, but not with great accuracy and proficiency. So they still need to work on their technique a little bit, and definitely tactics and communication. So we've done through beginner, improver, intermediate. Now we're on advanced, 3.5 to 4.4. They'll be playing, they've got good fundamental skills. They know when to go to the net. They know how to communicate. They know everything about the game, just that they're not so proficient at it. They're advanced players. They might be, some of the top 20 in their club. They might play a few tournaments, not travelling really, but they might play a few tournaments. And that would be an advanced player, the rating being 3.5 to 4.4. The next level is, in Playtomic, it's called intermediate advanced, but we're calling it team. because if you're this level, 4.5 to 5.4, you are going to be playing in the team. All venues should have competitions, should have teams. If they don't, then you need to find a club that does, because it's always good to aim to get into the team practice and to play in the teams. So we said that level is 4.5 to 5.4. They're good at attack, defence, transitions. They can read the ball, but you know, they're still team players. They need to practice a lot and play a lot of tournaments to get to the next level, which would be totally proficient at all the technique and all the shots. If you're a team player, you might have a few weaknesses which you'll know about, and you need to work on those to get to the next level. So the final level we've got is tournament, 5.4 to 5.6. That's really the top players in the country. They're not professional, but they're going to be playing tournaments, travelling. They might be trying to make it on a circuit, and they might be travelling all over the tournament destinations to actually get points in the world rankings. So really, none of our players at most of our venues that I work at aren't going to be that level. They're going to be at the big indoor centres training, maybe part of a squad. It's just another level. So as soon as you see a player that is that level, you'll notice it. So just to summarise again, beginner, improver, intermediate, advanced, team and tournament. In the UK, Padel was only introduced really in a biggish way, not big, but maybe 5 years ago. So the average age of Padel players was quite high. So there was a circuit, seniors circuit. You've got over 40s, over 50s, over 60s. And you can find tournaments on the LTA website, lta.org.uk, if you want to play in any of those tournaments. They're really good fun. There are open tournaments as well as part of the Padel tour. You can play in those if you want to play in the open age group. The level's a lot higher. There's mixed tournaments as well, and doubles. They're all doubles, by the way, but there's mixed doubles. So it's a great way. Go into the LTA website, lta.org.uk, search for Padel, and you'll find a list on that website with all the tournaments, and they're easy to find. And you enter them online, and you'll get a ranking. There's a rankings based on your age. You've got the open rank, then you've got over 40, over 50, over 60. I think there might even be an over 70. Well, no, over 60. That over 70s might come when Padel's been going for 10 years, but it's not at the moment. So it's good game for all ages, really keen over my age, you know, 50, 60. Really good matches, really keen. It's a great way of keeping fit, great way of keeping it with your friends. Really good to do that. There's county tournaments as well, or county matches. So hopefully you'll get involved. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, please subscribe here. If you want to see more in the series of what we do, up here. And if you want to learn about all the general things we do on all our channels, go down below.